It's so good to be back here again. I'm so excited recording this new video, which I'll be uploading very soon. Of course, if you're seeing this, means it's already uploaded. All right, for everyone who viewed, who liked, who subscribed to my YouTube channel, thank you so much. For the new subscribers, you're welcome, and I love you. All right, so my last video, I explicitly discussed a very sensitive topic where I distinguish between healthy and unhealthy self-esteem, and I try to point out some characters or some traits or some attitude in which it will be easy for one to identify, do I have a healthy and or a healthy unhealthy self-esteem. So in the course of uploading that video and the comment section and even some personal reach outs in my DM, I got a lot of questions. That's the reason why I'm recording this next video. All right, so what are we discussing today? What am I discussing today? I'm discussing a very important topic that is related to my former video or my last uploaded video. So today I'll be talking about tips or steps to developing a healthy self-esteem. In this time, age, and now, it's important for each and every one of us to actually have a very healthy self-esteem. Being that if you sit towards the negative, that's the unhealthy self-esteem, there are quite a lot of opportunities you miss out on. So what are the steps? Very quickly, I'm going straight up to them so I don't take so much of your time, of your listening time. So one of them, and very important, is understanding yourself. Number one, you have to understand yourself. You have to know yourself. And this actually stems from one, acknowledging your strength, and two, understanding and constantly developing your weaknesses. Okay, so I see so many persons, they only know their strength or they focus on their strength, which is quite very good. And you hear some persons tell you don't focus on your weakness. They are they may be correct but not entirely correct, because the thing is that things about weaknesses that you never know they are there until a trying situation comes in that reveals your vulnerability. So it's important that you pay attention to your weaknesses while constantly developing yourself to make yourself better in that thing in which you're struggling with. So number one tip to developing a very healthy self-esteem is understanding yourself. And this boils down to acknowledging your strength and also constantly modifying and working on your weaknesses. So number two step in developing a very healthy self-esteem, which is also very important, is to challenge negative talks. So I see I've met people in which they are like shock absorbers. They absorb everything people say to them. I'm not like that. Oftentimes when someone tell me something negative, I tend to, depend on how close I am to the person, I tend to shove it either friendly or sternly. So you hear somebody tell you, I don't think you can do that. My response is, have you seen me do that before? So you shouldn't be underrating me. So oftentimes I hear people tell, some persons even tell themselves, this is not someone telling you now. Some persons, they've mastered the art of negatively talking to themselves. So they tell themselves, I can't do this, I can't do this, I don't think I can achieve this. Instead of saying I can't do this, why not say I am constantly growing and improving on myself, and I think I will give this a try. So what if you fail? If you fail, you try again. So that's it. So number two, you must challenge negative, sorry, excuse me, you must challenge negative self-talk. So number three, which is very important, you have to take care of your physical health and your physical well-being. Now, let me give you a story. Some years ago, when I was still growing up, when I was in secondary school, I used to be like very chubby. I used to be very like bigger than this. And when I left secondary school into like my year one in university, I still had that chubby outlook. That's big. Let's call it Orobo over here in Nigeria. So I used to have some friends that would like, I'll put on some clothes, it won't fit so well. So I have some friends who would like talk down on me, and it actually impacted on my self-esteem, which I never knew until later. Now, as time went on, I began to consciously work on my physical outlook, that's my physique, and I constantly began to search for tips, look out for tips that will help to improve my physical well-being and my physical appearance. And the thing is, I don't know about you, but I believe that for some people who look good, people who know they look good, people who take constant steps in developing themselves to look good, with time they have it like a crazily healthy self-esteem. So that's why you see most actresses. I'm not saying that you should be an actress or an actor. You get, I'm just using for an instance. You see, most of our celebrities, they look so good. Sometimes it could be the effect of some surgeries and what have you. I'm not saying you should do that, but I'm just using that as an analogy here. They've Some of them, they've applied at the gym, they registered at the gym. Some of them, they're into dieting, weight loss, and what have you. They are so focused on their physical well-being, what they look like, what they look at when they see in the mirror. Because actually your physique directly impacts on your self-esteem. Don't allow anybody tell you otherwise. It does, it really does. So when I started when I kept trying to work on myself physically, I kept getting better up until even now, still getting better with that. I began to realize that my the way I saw myself, my self-image, my self-esteem began to grow. So there's a direct relationship between your physical outlook and your self-esteem. All right, so that's why we should consciously look out for ways or tips in order to develop our physical outlook. So number 4 in the tips for developing healthy self-esteem is to surround yourself with positive people. Now surround yourself with optimists. Now in this age and time, things are really not so funny, be it economically and be it in every other wise you can think of. And sometimes when you're reaching out for high goals, big goals, and when you're reaching out for something really big, you may get some discouragement here and there, especially if it's something that relates to finance. Now, and that could impact on your self-esteem somehow. So it's important that whenever you want to try out something that directly impacts on your self-esteem, it's important to surround yourself with positive people. So, for instance, I'm a singer, I'm a music minister. In the later age or the later years, when I just started, when I was in choir, when I just joined the choir in my local church, my dad was a very major source of encouragement to me. Like, even when I go to the choir, then I was still like in secondary school, and in quotes, they will say we sang rubbish. I sing rubbish. I'll come home, my dad will still say, it wasn't that bad though. I was hearing your voice in the crowd. And I'll be so happy for him to have picked up my voice in the crowd. It meant that my voice is unique. My dad will always have something positive to say. That's the truth. So surrounding yourself with positive people, people who will cheer you up, who will cheer you on. This doesn't necessarily have to be your family members like mine. They don't necessarily have to be your friends. It may just be acquaintances, people you met along the path of life while you're walking down that road. So always surround yourself consciously. Stay away from naysayers, stay away from people who are going to always tell you you did bad. The people who are going to remind you of your faults and your flaws instead of cheering you on and celebrating your victories. So number 5, and that tip is stop comparing yourself. Comparison is a, I don't know what to call it, but comparison is not good. Is not good. Is a killer of self-esteem. Oh, look at that, my friend. Oh, wish I could be like her. Now you must understand that you are uniquely created. You are uniquely designed by God, and the God who designed you as a masterpiece. You are nothing short or nothing less of a masterpiece. God didn't make a mistake. The way you look, the way your nose is, the way your mouth is, the way your eyes are, the way your legs, your head, your ear, your eye, everything. God sat down, took his time and created you. So thing is, don't compare yourself, because comparison is actually the beginning of so many failures. Now everybody have their journey in life, everybody has their destinations, and you could be going at a different pace than your friend. Do not compare yourself, because the minute you start comparing yourself, sorry, it actually impacts on your self-esteem. So I don't know how much to flog that point, but please, in order to develop a healthy self-esteem, do not, rather, instead of saying, oh, I wish I am like that person, rather say, oh, I'm still a work in progress. And by the grace of God, by the mercies of God, I will get there. I'm growing, I'm constantly growing and improving on myself. And I trust God to help me to get there. That's better, right? All right. So for the last tip I'll be talking about, just so as the video is not so long, as I promised earlier, is the 6th point, which is developing yourself. Now, the thing is, we are in an ever evolving world. And recently, I've noticed like the trajectory of things of value, self value searching people beyond your business plan in which you walk around it, beyond your business plan in which you walk around it. People want to hear what you have as a person. Now, beyond just developing your business plan, what can you offer? I've been to some certain what I call it an interview per se for a particular maybe a remote position. And over the phone, the person, my interviewer asked me, taking your CV, putting your CV aside, let's speak. I want to hear you speak. I want to hear what you have. How can you positively contribute to this company? Now the thing is, if you don't develop yourself, it is almost like you saying no to opportunities and saying no to growth. Now, the thing is, oftentimes people who are consciously, who are constantly developing themselves, they never come close to anything of distorted self-esteem. They know that they are valuable. And when you know you are valuable, there's a sense of like the sense of confidence it gives you. And it's important for you to develop yourself. And when I mean develop, I mean mentally, I mean spiritually, I mean physically, I mean financially, and otherwise. It's not just by reading books. There are opportunities you should seek that develops you. There are places you should go that develops you. There are things that you should engage yourself in that develops you. So development is another topic of its own entirely. But it's important that this year choose that, okay, this niche I found myself, or this thing in which I found interesting, I want to develop myself in that area. Now let me tell you, everybody who is an employer out there is looking for someone valuable. Everybody who is valuable is looking for another valuable person. Everybody who is competent is looking for another competent person. Everybody who is excellent is looking for another excellent person. So don't be fooled. So it's important for you as in your work in developing a healthy self-esteem, you should develop yourself. I hope this video has been able to answer lots of the questions I have, or has been able to do a little justice to the questions I've been having about what are the tips? What do you think? What are the ways to develop a healthy self-esteem? Thank you so much for viewing to the very end. Please, if this is your first time, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're a returning viewer, please like and please share to your friends so they could visit my page too to subscribe. Thank you so much and have a lovely day. Love you.